talking till 3, sharing old stories, just them and me. The world's fast asleep, but we're wide awake, sipping on coffee, no plans to break. Time fades away as the night drifts on, lost in the laughter, the dark nearly gone. No need for answers, no reason why, just two souls awake beneath the sky. No rush, just stars and soft street lights, starting or ending, it feels just right. Up late with a friend, the world's at rest, these quiet chats, yeah, they're the best. So here's to late nights, the quiet and deep, with a friend by your side when you should be asleep. In the calm of the night, life feels bright, ending or starting, we're feeling just right. Time fades away as the night drifts on, lost in the laughter, the dark nearly gone. No need for answers, no reason why, just two souls awake beneath the sky. No rush to stars and soft street lights, starting or ending, it feels just right. Up late with a friend, the world's at rest, these quiet chats, yeah, they're the best. No rush to stars and soft street lights, starting or ending, it feels just right. Up late with a friend, the world's at rest, these quiet chats, yeah, they're the best. These quiet chats, yeah, they're the best, yeah, they're the best. These quiet chats, yeah, they're the best, the quiet and deep best.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whoever you are, what if any you might be, and welcome to a late night. And as you can see, I just was a guest on a Halloween stream, but I thought, hey, it's 5:45 in the morning, no better time than the present to talk about some very, very bad stuff. I don't know why people hate me so much. Sadly, that's how it is, Brandon. You're the only one who likes me. I hope yesterday went well. We've been talking about Trooper Proctor a lot for the last year and a half, and his text messages. And we know from the Karen Reed case that that guy has a potty mouth, and he doesn't seem to be very fond of Karen Reed, which, according to his wife, it was because, oh, he got so mad because he lost a brother in blue and he's just a victim and he had to release some stream. But according to a new article in Mass Live that dropped yesterday, well, the day before, sorry, and I didn't have time to cover it, Rosemary Scapicchio is absolutely going cray-cray, because it seems what he said about Karen Reed was kind of tame compared to what she alludes will be on his phone. There's also a new filing about preserving his text records that could kind of indicate this is going to be bad, y'all. This is going to be probably way worse than anyone suspected when we saw the text messages in the Karen Reed case. One thing is you don't like Davianetti. One thing is you are making fun of her illnesses. One thing is you say, well, she has a flat ass and a weird Fall River accent. I'm not a butt guy myself. I don't really notice that. But apparently we had heard rumors that some of this will be very insensitive to some people. I also found a tweet from Grave Concerns that we're going to look at. Paula, it's just because you're a dog. We all knew it. I'm here for the rancid tea. Well, we're also going to talk about what we don't know so far, and which we probably should find out really, really soon, because this isn't just a one-time affair, I think. Hey, PLT. loved your squirrel sanctuary. Sadly, one of them went away today. His wife is going to leave him. I don't know. Apparently, she must have known how stressed he got at his work and how he had to act out against stuff. What about his sister that he texts 40,000 times a day? I haven't texted my sister in a month, and this guy apparently texts his sister more than he texts anyone else in the world. Is she also in some of these text chains? Nikki, behave. Brandon, you don't want to do this to make your wife leave you. Most of them will, if these cases that we will be talking about later goes to court, you will see a lot of it. Other than that, it'll be really, really hard to get to see any of it because, again, stuff like this won't be open to FOIA request, I believe. Sword Girl, it's 5:45 in the morning. See, Danish lady knows it. She'll leave him to protect their assets. That's what all cops' wives do, even if they stay together. Yes, that's something we see in a lot of cases, not just with cops, but anyone who has a little bit of the green will get a divorce so she can keep holding on. He has no pension, so no future income. He probably, this has been my speculation the whole time, if everything had just flown under the radar, he would have got some security job down the line because the cops are all moonlighting as guards at conventions and football games and all of that. He would have gotten some security job that he could keep a decent income. But now he has no pension. He has absolutely no way of being hired by anyone anymore. Because if this is true, what Rosemary Scapicchio is kind of alluding to, what we have read earlier from the union, this guy will never, ever, ever have a job anywhere near police, security, anything. He will be almost, he will have to go and dig ditches or something to get a job because it seems really, really bad. Thank you, Serene. They make 250,000 a year, and he's 30. He's probably loaded. Well, the same thing that happens to dirty cops is the same thing that happens to drug dealers. They get a lot and they spend even more. That's how you get most of these people. It's because they have way too high expenditures compared to their life, and all of these overtime scandals and overtime scams they are running, which I know Aiden broke an overtime scandal some years ago. Looking at the numbers these guys that we have seen are doing in overtime, you should probably try and go over, are they cheating again with the overtime? Because normal cops making more than the president of the Americas, that seems kind of weird. You have how much was it? Was it 350,000 that Bukaki made, or who was it who made $350,000 as a beat cop? Because they stack all that overtime. They get like 100K in their base pay, and then they'll rack 200% on top of that. Show me any other profession where you can do that, and no one will say that's dirty. Yes, and this is what I have been saying a lot when I've covered this. Why the hell haven't we heard about an investigation? Why haven't we heard about politicians going out there and saying, we need to look into all of these people? Because these text messages wasn't just notes he put on his own phone. He must have hit send. If he hit send, it hit someone else's phone. That person didn't report him and say, hey, this guy is absolutely a liability to the police force. How many of them sent a smiley emoji back and said, yeah, that's right. You're absolutely right. Why haven't we heard anything? It's so easy to just say, well, in Massachusetts, that's the way it runs, and you don't rock the boat, then you don't get elected. Well, I don't give a fuck if you get elected. I want accountability. And if you're absolutely fine with politicians just closing their eye and we'll move on. Again, as Beto Rose said in one of his tweets, this isn't only Proctor. And a DA candidate should be banging this drum. But sadly, it only seems they're doing the circle jerk of the political party so they can get the power instead of Morrissey. In Canton, the minimal overtime is 4 hours. So even if they work for 30 minutes overtime, they get paid for a full hour. I've heard this directly from cops. And that's just absurd. You have them doing the cold case. I don't know if the boat rumor is true, but it'll be a great thing for a corrupt police department if they had a boat called the cold case. But if you do the cold case thing, and you don't have to turn on the GPS because, hey, we're going to an informant, so we can't really leak whatever is going on out there. So they can never check what you did. Well, I had to drive down there and drive back, and then we spent 4 hours interviewing witnesses. And yeah, we have a report, and they really didn't have anything new. But now we checked them off the board. Yeah, go F yourself. Teachers work 6 hours a day max. Well, it's good. At least they work for 6 hours. Hey, common sense. Clip what? Hey, Stacia. Well, this is the problem. I kind of think I know how deep this goes. But why is Turtle Boy, the man that everyone apparently now has to hate, why is he the only one who ever said anything about this? Where are all the other online sleuths? Why is an idiot in Denmark sitting at 6 a.m, dressed up as a sexy kitten, talking about this? Don't you have someone way closer to Massachusetts who should be covering this when you saw the pay stamps these guys are getting? When you see the silence that comes out now, we know. Well, let's just see what Rosemary Scapicchio is alluding to. The conduct in the Reed case that led to Proctor's firing does not appear to be a one-off. Scapicchio, who represent two murder defendants, Miles King and Sean Johnson, whose cases were investigated by Proctor, said Thursday that information pulled from his personal phone shows he was biased towards the defendants. It's going to be a very difficult conversation to have with my clients, having to listen to this information and understand just how biased this investigation was, Scapicchio said after hearing on the issue of disclosing information generated by the federal investigation into the Reed case. And this isn't even all the bad stuff. This is the information from the Reed case. There is more. Doing his investigation, he sent derogatory text, blah, blah, blah. In the wake after the Reed case, defense attorneys, including Scapicchio, sought access to Proctor's phone to determine whether the behavior in Reed investigation was isolated. It's exactly what we thought was going to be, she said. I don't know how you read the information that we have access to and not see inherent bias, absolute bias of the investigators that were investigating. A tranche of information from Proctor's personal phone was first disclosed to defense attorneys in cases he investigated last week, so they haven't even begun to dug into it. After the DA's office revealed it had found information beneficial to defendants on the phone. Another disclosure of information is expected on Friday, so yesterday or today for you Americans. In the Reed case, prosecutors did not call Proctor to testify during her second trial, despite his role as the primary investigator. Scapicchio indicates she would call the former trooper if the government does not call him as a witness at trial for her clients. The bigger concerns for Scapicchio is whether Proctor's bias extend to others on the case, including his supervisors. And that's the question. We don't know if the bias begins and ends with Trooper Proctor, if it seeps out beyond that. We need to then go back and see who else was investigating, whether or not they were also tainted by what we learned about Trooper Proctor. This is the big old question. Who else knew? Who else participated? Who else closed their eyes and shut their ears? Just shut up, get along, go along. According to grave concerns online, I have a buddy. So again, it's hearsay, but let's just roll with it. I have a buddy on MSP. He told me that however bad we think these texts are, they are 100 times worse. There is allegedly a text thread between Proctor and Canton Cop where he tells him there is no need to visit a crime scene because it's just a dirty, and I hope he dies. These texts are so bad that the Wink and Nut trucking company all disgraced troopers go to work for wouldn't hire Proctor. Happy Halloween, Proctor. That's what we're talking about here. We're talking about, first of all, this will be horrific to any prosecutor who has to try and convict any of the people who has been indicted in any case where Proctor has been helping. Because just pull out any person of a different color, you'll say, but didn't you call this guy a dirty N-word who deserved to die? If you have a text like that, it's gonna come in every single case that has anything to do with people of a different color than Michael Proctor. Anyone remember how the OJ case went after they found out that the lead investigator wasn't the biggest fan of people of color? Yeah, that's not going to be good. This could potentially ruin tons of cases for the Massachusetts State Police and the Norfolk DA's office. But again, this is just Michael Proctor. And we just read, he said it in text. So who did he say it to? We know they have been talking about videos on his phone, pictures on his phone as well. How bad will it get? How bad? It started to annoy me. I think I'm allergic to that makeup. Did they say why he's being suspended? The timing is interesting. Yes, they said that he was being suspended because of conduct unbecoming of an officer. That's why he was suspended and then subsequently fired. But that was after the first trial. I believe it was in July that he... No. I can't remember when he was placed on suspension and then he got fired subsequently. It has just been the norm here. Never any consequences, so they don't even think twice about their behavior. And that's what I was trying to say. Hey, Maya, it's been a long time. Good to see you. That's the thing I've been saying for the longest time. Why, oh, why is a Danish guy sitting at 6 a.m. in the morning talking about this? Why is Aiden the only one trying to cover all of this? Sue from Boston is having a hissy fit talking about some anonymous YouTube account that calls themselves a news site, and I'm the real journalist. And sitting there clapping back at people saying, well, do your job. I had to complain about Trump 24,000 times a day. Well, I think you have bigger problems right outside your doorstep than Donald Trump being the president. You have closed your eyes every single year. You have been a journalist. I'm a commentator. Well, do your effing job. commentate on how bad all of this is. Well, I'm a political commentator. Well, you can sweep in when it's good for your newspaper, but doing some real legwork, getting out there to Aiden, a man in his own living room, has done more journalism than any of the mainstream media. That should cause concern. And funny enough, who else of the local streamers are attacking this angle? Yeah, we can yell at Michael Proctor, he's an asshole because we covered the Karen Reed case. But what about all the rest of them? What about the coming DA selection? Oh, we're just going to be fine with it. We're just going to nominate. You don't understand elections in America. Well, I'm pretty sure I do, because if you just nominate the next one from the party, you're going to get exactly the same thing you've always gotten from the party. Can you change shit? No, but you should make a stink about it. Oh, thank you. I think maybe money. Whose money? Well, you're not doing great, Brandon. Stop. You and Nightbot are the only two mods we have here right now. Journalists like Aiden is far between anymore. Remember Geraldo Rivera? I remember him back in the day when he was kind of a breath of fresh air, and then he kind of went weird with that Capone's tomb, bank vault, whatever it was. But I'm going to say something now that's probably going to cause even more drama. And I've tried to stay out of all that drama. I've taken a few shots across the bow and given a few back. But is there a reason why everyone is going after Aiden now? Is there a reason that people who is connected to mainstream media, even though they are content creators or whatever we are, us YouTubers, are gunning for Aiden now? Is there a reason why they sent the hit squad in their cars out after Aiden? Is it because Aiden is too efficient? They could use him to help Karen Reed, but you better stop, bro. Better fall in line. We don't want anyone to rock the boat. I don't know. This just came to me. I'm just wondering why everyone is banging so hard at Aiden. Yeah, you got Karen Reed off. Now shut up. It just seems to me that could potentially be a reason why all of a sudden Aiden was being fired at from every angle. The guy who probably got most people to know about Karen Reed. I did my very first stream after watching Legal Vices, and the first comment I had was something like, "Oh, Aiden is an asshole" or something like that. I said, "I don't know who he is. I've heard his name, but I don't know who he is." And then I got to know Aiden. But is that why everyone is gunning for Aiden right now? One thing is to take down the big animal on the savannah, but is it also so he can keep his damn mouth shut? Because we don't want this to start rolling. We wanted to contain all of this to Michael Proctor, so he's the only bad guy. Can we sell that? We don't want Aiden to start looking into who Michael Proctor might have collabed with. We don't want him to look into what other cops. We don't, because Aiden, even though he is an asshole, and I think he would agree with me on that one, Aiden is really good at finding sources. He knows exactly how to get to those people who are willing to talk. Are they afraid Aiden are going to go and stir the hornet's nest? Next year, they want to nominate a new DA, get them in, run the ship exactly like Morrissey, just with a new coat of paint. Don't they? Are they trying to protect that DA, the police, by saying, "Hey, online people, if you attack Aiden, we'll give you access, we'll give you whatever you need. Just make sure Turtle Boy goes away." Hey, I'm just wildly speculating. Geraldo is a effing loser. I've seen him the last couple of times I've seen him on TV. He seems weird. He's disrespectful to women and people with addiction problems. The funny people say he has addiction problems, and no one said to those people, "You can't say that." And again, he's disrespectful to women. I think Aiden's problem is he's way too respectful for women, and he's way, way, way too interested in them. That's where most of his problem stems from. Funny enough that this is the new line. Aiden is a misogynist, and he makes fun of people who uses drugs. I hope you use the same fervor in those chats where they're shitting on Aiden all the time, because that's not something that came out of nothing. I know exactly what streams you learned that from. I know exactly what X channels told you that. Why are they going after Aiden? They were kissing his ass so their lips were bleeding 2 weeks ago. And then all of a sudden, Aiden is a bad boy. We don't like Aiden anymore. Doesn't it make you wonder, these people who, oh, we're going to use Aiden to get our meal ticket punched? All of a sudden, Aiden hates women just because he goes after women that do bad stuff. Do you think he hates men when he goes after Michael Proctor? Or is it just because you heard on a stream Aiden hates women because that skank that tried to use a murder trial to get some action from Paul O'Keefe? Oh, you can't say anything to her. That woman with the t-shirts, you can't say anything. He can shit on every man every day, but women, oh no. This is what Martin Luther King said about: judge on the character, not your color, your creed, or your gender. Funny enough, all of a sudden, Aiden hates women. No one had any problem when Aiden went after Krusty. That wasn't misogyny. That was just a ratchet bitch who got her comeuppance. But all of a sudden, Aiden is a misogynist because we don't like Aiden anymore. Isn't it funny how that changed? Why did people start saying Aiden hates women? Is it because they want Aiden put down? Is it because they want to take Aiden's spot? Or maybe they think we're going to protect someone from Aiden? I've never ever heard Aiden said, I'm going to attack X, Y, or Z because of their dangly bits or their non-dangly bits. He have treated everyone the exact same way. That cop that started his Genduso, was that because she was a woman or because she was a criminal? All of a sudden, everyone is up in arms and saying Aiden hates women. You had no problem with Aiden when he helped a woman get free. Why did he hate? Why did he help Karen Reed when he hates women so much? Why is he, even though he can't talk about it because his lawyer is on it, why isn't he saying, well, Kelsey Fitzsimmons absolutely is a crazy woman. No woman should ever be a cop. You know what happened when women are cops, right? All of a sudden, it seems like people, they've they made this, oh, you hate women. It's almost like in politics when they always call people a racist or a communist or whatever they do to try and take the wind out their sails. It's almost like someone is afraid of Aiden, and now we have the car crew to sit and talk about how he hates women. Yeah, sure. You had no problem 2 months ago if he said Lindsay was a fake victim. You had no problem 2 months ago if he said Krusty was bad to her kids. Not one problem when he said Jen McCabe was a horrible person. All of that was fine. But when you couldn't use him anymore because now Karen Reed is free and you're kind of afraid that he might stir the boat too much, Aiden is a misogynist pig, and we always hated Aiden. He only did it for Aiden. Isn't that funny how people jumped on that train? All of a sudden, everyone found out Aiden was a woman-hating man pig. Almost like someone started these rumors just to get to Aiden. But what do I know? I'm a firm believer in feministing personally. I think you should be feministing more, Brandon, but thank you. Out of context, we can all be painted as misogynist. Well, I'm pretty sure that Twisted Tragedy only copyright struck my channel because she's a misandrist. She hates all men. Look at her show every day. All she talks about is Aiden. Aiden is a man. She hates all men. Isn't that funny? That's not what anyone says, but all of a sudden we don't. I did. That's when I stopped watching him. You did what? Listen to other people say he was a woman hater. Exactly. And that's what a real journalist does. He doesn't hide behind, oh, we can't say anything when it's a woman says. Because again, you had no problem when he was attacking the women you didn't like. All of a sudden, because now we are going full anti-Aiden mode, you can hear all of that rumbling. Where was all of that a month ago? Isn't it funny how all of this just all dropped? Well, he had the recordings. He did this. Have you ever had that proven? Well, Karen was in a chat. Have you any proof? Yeah, Nick Rocco said so. Yeah, well, I can prove that the Queen of Saba is in my chat all the time. She hides under the name Lesko Brandon. It's proof of nothing. But all of a sudden, Aiden became the prime target. I'm just thinking, maybe because he's too efficient. Oh, well, I'm sorry. I say he's a misogynist after watching him for years. Why? Give me the 5 things he hates most about women that he has said. And why are you supporting a misogynist? That's weird. When he was going in on Lindsay, what was he going in on her? Being a woman who tried to insert herself and use her feminine wiles to get some dirt on. Oh, by the way, that woman who catfished Paul O'Keefe, is she a misandrist? Is she a slut? Or is she a strong, brave woman? Or what is she? It's okay to lure a man into DMing you by trying to pretend that you like him. But when you when you go to Aiden and say, hey, please use all of this, and you then get cold feet after and start attacking Aiden, Aiden becomes the misogynist. Well, without double standards, most people wouldn't have any standards at all. No one called Aiden a misogynist back when he released the first story. It wasn't until Lindsay started to pile on along with a few other YouTube creators that all of a sudden Aiden became a misogynist. Isn't that weird? No, he's always been a misogynist. I watched him for years. I knew he was a bad person. Well, why are you supporting bad people? Well, he did good work, but he's a misogynist. Why would you? So you think Trooper Proctor, even though he don't like black people, but he solved crimes, he's a good guy? Oh, it's not the same. It kind of is. Women shouldn't vote because they're emotional. Sure. I've heard a ton of people say repeal the 18th. I think it's stupid. One person, one vote. Is that misandry or misogynistic? Have you seen him melt down? I've seen a lot of you people melt down. I haven't seen Aiden melt down. I've seen him being attacked from all sides by people that he was more than generous with his time to. But none of you had any problem with that, because now we're going for the king. All your picks are you. Oh my. I love reading TDS statements in these chats. I'm just wondering, where were all your holiness when he was saving Karen Reed's hide by raising tons of money? When he was out there exposing all of this, everyone loved him, but in reality, they didn't love him because he was actually a man-hating pig. Sure, Jen. That's how we do it. If I had it.
I would just like to say, I did a test drive of that, and it worked great on my test drive.
Sure, Jan. Judge Hooks, may I see you?
He just turned around. He just became misogynist. I think people are confusing the definitions for misogynist and womanizer. Well, his dick has gotten him in more problems than his hate for women up till now. But apparently now everyone really knew that all the time he was really hateful of women. Isn't it funny that the women who has been close to him, even though they might have piled on, none of them have accused him for being a women hater. Wouldn't that be something Lindsay would say? That wasn't her problem. Thank you so much, beautiful messy ball. Well, he is fond of the ladies. Let's just say that. But if you're calling that a womanizer or a player or whatever it is, hey, I wish I could just have one. He has had more than one. I just want my V card punched. None of you were saying this shit before the recordings. Now everyone's on the bandwagon. Listen to the best special ADA ever appointed, MC Cosy G. Because this is an internet pile-on. We've seen it before. Let's go for the king. Let's take him down. Maybe we can take his spot. Is Sue up? Why the hell is Sue up at this time? I'm a woman and Aiden is not a misogynist. Yeah. I wonder if Paul O set Aiden up with that whole chat stream. With the lady, no. Paul O'Keefe and his wife, I don't think they have a relationship. I think they have, on paper, they're together, and that's fine. You choose whatever lifestyle you choose. I am no better than no one else. I lied to God when I said my marriage would last till both of us died or one of us did. So I can't be morally superior to anyone. If you have an open relationship, if you're separated, if whatever you want to do, as long as I'm not cheating on my partner and she's not cheating on me, I don't care what you do as long as it's age appropriate and consensual. Paul O'Keefe got attention from, again, I saw some of the pictures. Well, I saw the bottom of one of the pictures. She looks like she had a pretty good boob job. I know how it is to be a man, especially in a dry spell. Getting a little bit of attention, we really like that. So Paul O'Keefe probably thought, brown chicken, brown cow. And this lady seemed like she really liked to string him along, and he liked the attention. And he went further and further and further because he wanted it. And she tried to play both horses. She wanted his attention because she also liked to have a little bit of attention. And then she wanted to be the one who could break it to Aiden. I think that's how it happened. Then she turned around because she found out, oh, shit, real life has consequences. So when you play both horses and one of the horses says, well, this is newsworthy, I'm going to leak all of this. You know what you gave me, and you know why you gave it to me, so I'm going to use it now. I've said this to you. Then she was afraid of the consequences. And then she started a campaign against Aiden. Funny enough that other people picked up, because now all the pictures where they were laughing are at Paul O'Keefe being cute in his picture, all of a sudden that was way over the line. You can't do that. Didn't you know this man lost his brother? But people attack him and his kids all the time. That's okay. It's absolutely okay when you do it to someone I don't like. But if you're on my team, you can't do that. That's you're so mean. Mm, 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 mm. It's too late to cover up Norfolk DA and the mess. Proctor's phone extractions will expose all Tully, Fanning, Carnegie, Morrissey, and I can't wait. Well, Leah, my big problem is people don't seem to want it. Again, if it's true that the texts are so bad that he said just a dirty N-word, and one person received that text message, why am I doing a stream on it? Where are all the big guys who live in Canton, who live in Massachusetts, who live in the nearest 5 states? Why are they not out here banging their drum, saying we need change? Look at there was an order in the Walsh case in connection with the prosecution of Karen Reed. Certain materials, the confidential materials, for review and, if appropriate, production and Reed, disclosure and use of the confidential materials was subject to a series of strict protective orders, blah, 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 blah. After the completion of the Reed case and aware of its obligation to produce exculpatory information to defendants in other cases, many of which involved murder charges, the NDAO sought leave from the USAO. They wanted to turn over the Fed. Therefore, Judge Casper modified her order to permit the NDAO to review the confidential to determine if portions of the confidential material should be turned over to defendants in other criminal prosecution pending in this court. What other? Only Commonwealth v. Cornell Bell, Robert Wang. That sounds like he might have some. Derek Cardoso, Victor Carter, Bianca Chinocchio, Dante Clark, Alicia Delamano, Giovanni De Los Santos, Keneal Diaz Romero, Julius Hammond Desire, John Harper, J1 Harris, Sean Johnson, Miles King, Brandon Owen, Samantha Swartz, Kelly Shaw, and Jalen Wallace. These are the other trials that potentially can be a part of this now, because Proctor is a shithole. How many was that? 10, 15 cases that now is going to get exculpatory evidence because they found this material. And as I read it, this is the one they had from the retrial. That's not the full picture. You still need the hundreds and thousands of files that made his union. Have you ever heard about a union throwing someone under the bus like they did with Michael Proctor, saying, after reading the material, we can't protect this guy anymore? What do you think happens when that comes out? Yeah, let's get ahead of it. Let's isolate Michael Proctor, saying he's the bad guy, and let's not look into it. Let's not demand that the incoming DA instantly makes an internal investigation. Let's not demand that anyone do anything. Let's just laugh at Michael Proctor. And I'm just wondering why. Why am I sitting 4,000 miles away and saying, why the hell are you not looking into this? Why are you accepting the status quo? But apparently you don't ask those questions. You don't rock the boat. You just go on. See, I mean, if I can get some self-identification, life is easier. What? Who? I'm not going to Chicago. Where am I going? Who am I going to make fun of if I ban them? Yeah, don't ban people unless they say something stupid. If people say something dumb, racist, or that's, yeah. That's what we're going against. I'm just seeing if I lost something. You're not even in America. Sit down. If you have daughters, I'm ashamed of you. But most likely you don't have daughters. Maybe you don't. You're even single. You're disgusting, dude. Talk Australian stuff. Rudy Robles. Let me say this in a way I think even you can understand. Go absolutely fuck yourself, you fat piece of shit. What the fuck do you know about anything? I hate you disgusting people who think that you can come into these chats and act like this. You are a sorry, pathetic little piece of shit. You don't know anything. You are just a little follower who is going around saying what the guys you really like says. You have no opinion of your own. You don't give a fuck about anyone else. You just want to be a centerpiece and start shit. I have two wonderful daughters. I have the greatest, best, strongest women raised as my daughters. Women who can take charge of their own life, who still are very vulnerable, and who I have to help sometimes, and who I adore above anything else on this planet. You horrible skanks out there who thinks, oh, I'm gonna be cool because I'm saying stuff like this. Go fuck yourself. And I'm not even sure you're a woman. I think you're just a pathetic little clown who goes around in chats and say, oh, look at me, look at me. You're disgrace. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, you can't have an opinion on America. Well, if I can't have an opinion on America, at least you should be smart enough to know this isn't an Aussie accent. This is Dutch. Don't you know? You people who sit here and spew all of this bullshit time and time again because I want to be important, I want to be great, who goes in all of those spaces and just ramble your shit. Have you ever thought about maybe, just maybe, send those words from your mouth to your brain and back to your mouth before you say them? You must be the worst people in the world. I can have a discussion with people who I don't disagree, who I disagree with, but all of you people are hateful, disgusting people. You don't give a fuck about anything. The only thing you want to be is a part of a pylon. When it's not Aiden you're going to attack, next week you're going to attack whoever you're turning your back on the next. And then you're going to go and find new drama and new drama, because your life only has meaning if you can feel, oh, someone else is more miserable than me. And you'll hide behind 45 different accounts because I'm not man enough to say this face to face, but I'm really strong behind the keyboard. From the bottom of my heart, go rotate on a cactus. Get a life. And stop listening to all these guys you think are cool and go around and do their bidding in YouTube chats. You're pathetic. You don't know shit about me because you just swept by today because you wanted to do drama. If you had been here before, you know how much I praise my daughters. They're the best thing that happened in my life. You would know that all of my mods, all my co-hosts, except Brandon, are female. But no, you don't care because you're just an idiot who likes to say the dumb words because, oh, I got him. I'm so cool. I'm going to go home and clip this, and then I'm going to share it with all my other cool friends who go in and say, Aiden is a misogynist. Will the Clara, he has Mexican Jordans. And you're going to sit and laugh in your little Discord groups and your little depression circles because you're so tough. You did it. I hope one day you will try and do that thing that is called have a life, where you don't have to live your life trying to make others miserable because you are a sad sack of shit. Sorry. Well, apparently I hate women. You know that, Crystal. You only been here for a little while. You know I always ragging on women. Except Brandon. Well, Brandon is seeing a lot of doctors from this time. Val isn't here anymore. But isn't it funny? That's another thing I have been getting with this. Don't have an opinion. You don't live here. Well, I'm a YouTuber. I'm perfectly fine to have an opinion on how I think Kelsey Fitzsimmons is being mistreated. Oh, really bad misogynist, because I've done a lot of coverage on Kelsey Fitzsimmons. But hey, I'm not a misogynist when I do that. I'm just a misogynist when you need me to be one, right, idiot? I can't have an opinion about who I think or what I think I would like a DA to say because, hey, you don't live here. But I'm allowed to have an opinion that Karen Reed was innocently accused. I'm allowed to say, hey, Kelsey Fitzsimmons did something stupid. In what capacity, we don't know, but she shouldn't be in prison. I'm allowed to say that. But I'm not allowed to say, why isn't any politician demanding change in Massachusetts? And why is no one demanding that politicians say, we want change in Massachusetts? Isn't it funny? And it's the same arguments they use all the time. You hate women. I love women. My only problem is I have a horrible personality, so I can't date any of them. That's not a them problem. That's a me problem. Rudy followed the chat rats. Well, I like the chat rats. I don't believe she's a chat rat. This troll thinks Baker is Australian. What an idiot. Who doesn't know shit and or learn what a channel is from? Clearly a lazy idiot. Well, these people, they don't care because they're not here to change anyone's mind. They're just here to pile on so Massa can see them and say, what a good little helper you are. You say all the right things, and you can go back in your depression circle and say, hey, I was in Rat House and I was shitting on Cossy G all night, and he got really mad about it. And then they went over to Baker's and I went with them and I said, Baker hates women and you probably don't have daughters. and he got mad at me. Oh. I'm flicking my bean harder than I ever had before because I'm so cool. No one knows you. No one cares about you. You're a sad sack of shit. Go back to your depression circle. Some people care so much about us in Europe, shouldn't have opinions about the US. That's why they spend time with European creators. Makes sense. Yeah, that's I can have I can have opinions on everything they have the same opinion on, but I can't have it on the if I go against them. So yeah. Well, I had my cat ears on earlier too. Then I got mad. Yeah, probably. I think more bean flicking should be had instead of all of this online drama. Give them some life. Hey, I'm not saying back anything at any time at any cost. If he goes against what you believe in, if he says something you think is absolutely wildly out there. My problem is just I don't see where Aiden has changed in any way, other than he wasn't useful anymore, and someone else wanted his spot. And then all of a sudden, all he said was wrong. That's just my problem. That info and more in Sam's one-part series, Who Unalived John O'Keefe and I Don't Belong Here. Do I know who Sam is? Don't let that weirdo upset you. The trolls care about no one but themselves. They come here and bash you, then go to the other side and do the same. They are merely drama creators. I know, Michelle, and I just have a very hard time when people bring my kids into it. You can attack me all you want, but leave my effing kids out of it. Leave everyone's kids out of it. Because now that GPS lady who wanted to go after Aiden's kids, what the hell is wrong with people? Krusty who went after Aiden's ex-wife. Why? You can fight me. I'll fight you. Not in the streets, but online. I have no problem with that. I'm a big boy. I can handle myself. If anyone wants to do drama, I'll do drama with the best of them. But my kids has nothing to do with my YouTube channel. I don't show them. I talk about them. But they have nothing to do with it. So why use them? I just find it weird that that's where they go. Thank you, Diane G. Gifting members to Chelsea. Just another snark in the tank. Wayne, Meavy, and Rena Jean. I was talking about Elsa Jean earlier today. Don't Google that one, Brandon. But thank you so much, Diane G. Who does she think she is telling? Someone who is actually educated. They aren't allowed to have their own opinion. Well, that's the problem. They'll just go in, and I can see it on the Twitch thread. And the worst thing is I can see all of this fighting going on the Twitch thread with people who I thought were okay, cool. Not only creators, but also just accounts that I used to follow. And what I see is a very specific line of attack that always goes on, that starts the same place, and that's what makes me think this isn't organic. This is something that is someone is trying to push an agenda, and probably using some accounts who they're friendly with or something like that. It's kind of like Shaun of the Golf when he switched sides and started helping Krusty try to get to Aiden. It's just way too coincidental to be a coincidence. Yeah, our kids are the best. You're gonna drop a diss tag too? I don't rap. I used to be in the streets. Then I turned 17 and stopped fighting and thought, I don't need baggy clothes and a skateboard anymore. And then I moved on. It's a psyop. Yes. Well, it's a low-level psyop, but I agree. You get 5-10 channels with a decent following, and you start saying Aiden is a misogynistic pig, and then you start tagging some of the females who might have a little bit of a problem with Aiden, and then you'll all of a sudden have everyone saying, well, he's a misogynistic pig. The man who fought against Michael Proctor, who is a misogynistic pig. Isn't it fun? Samantha Binotti. Yes, I've watched her channel a few times. I don't watch her that much, I have to be honest, but I hear she's doing some good stuff. But true crime isn't my go-to when I'm not doing true crime. Hey, Madam Butterfly. I think it's an coordinated attack by the other side. I think you're wrong. These are people who were on Aiden's side 2 months ago. I did a video the other day about drama is inevitable because you have these big cases, momentum cases like a Karen Reed case, a Rittenhouse case, a Johnny Depp case, and everyone lives good. Everyone's getting the super chats, everyone getting the views, everyone is drinking cream. Then the case end. Someone like me, I'll puddle off and do another trial. But some people have built their entire existence being a Karen Reed channel. They can't pivot. Look what Aiden did. He found that weirdo in Utah, started covering that. But other people, they can't pivot because Karen Reed is money. So they have to be a Karen Reed channel. And the audience don't give a F anymore because Karen Reed, there's nothing new coming out. Well, she's having a civil case. Yeah, that's coming up in 2 years. See you then. Some can maybe try and switch a little bit to the Fitzsimmons, but still, they really want to do Karen Reed because Karen Reed is money. And then their channel starts declining. What do you do then? You start some drama. It's exactly the same that has happened after every big case. The ones who were friends start attacking the ones they were friendly with, because then I can boost my numbers a little bit again. I can get that drama dollar. And in the end, 60 to 80% of those channels who will swerve right into the drama to try and keep their channels going will lose roughly a quarter of their audience. And a quarter of the audience they will be losing will be the ones who didn't want the drama. The people who would watch you every single day. And those are the ones you don't want to lose. I have 20,000 subscribers. I don't have 20,000 viewers. Because a lot of you just come by, oh, he's doing Proctor today. I'll check that. Oh, he's covering a murder in Wisconsin. I don't give an F. That's how the YouTube economy is. So you want to stay where your audience is. I said, no, I don't want to do that. I'm an idiot. So I'll just puddle off to Wisconsin again. But all of these people who were on the same side, who work together, will inevitably start drama to try and drum up some interest for their channel again. Because people are really not that interested in listening to how you think the Mozart's sonata in G is really, really good, and the 1812 overture is way too canony. So that's why it's our side. It's kind of a good God-given right to say stupid stuff if you want. Just don't be a loser about it. Be funny if you want to troll, not lobbing fake family attacks. Yeah, I don't mind a good. I miss Kimmy. Kimmy, who would come in and tell me that the Chloe was in Vermont, and I miss her. She was fun. You could work with her. But these people who just come in and say, "You fat." Yeah, I have a mirror. You stupid. I have the papers from school to prove that. You hate women. I love women. Just ask all the women whose DMs I'm in saying, hey, boobs. No, it's a joke. You honestly didn't see any attacking going on in the other direction. In which way do you believe? That Aiden was attacking other people? Is that who you believe is attacking? I don't know if that's what you're thinking. I think LawTube trial watchers have merged with true crime, and that's a big part of the reckoning of the HCC drama with Lauren and John. Well, LawTube and true crime is the same. It's just true crime with lawyers. So it's always been the same, but you can then either hype the drama or you can try and just be neutral. And Lauren liked to hype the drama because if you can get your viewers emotionally invested, you'll get the big bucks. Trust me, I was a huge Turtle Boy fan, but trust me, Turtle Boy has changed. It was Clara who initiated the drama. He's the one who wants. Trust me, that's your opinion. I wish he would take a step back and look at what's happening. Why? Why is he not allowed to do whatever he wants to do? Remember when Big Money Mike came on and said, Aiden, you should do this and that. Why? Aiden built his channel. Is Mike going to go on JFK and say, hey, guys, calm it down? Or is he going to go in their chat and bring it on again? I see a lot of people demanding Aiden doing shit. But when people come at Aiden, oh, man, yeah, misogynistic pig. We hate Aiden now. We're going to hang out with all the cool guys now and say Aiden's horrible. Why don't you demand the same truth from them? In my opinion, everyone should just shut their stupid mouth about everyone. But you don't want that, do you? You don't mind when Nurse Kim and Jess Machado goes at it a little bit. Oh, it's good. Drama's fun. You don't mind when JFK yells about Clara's Mexican Jordans. Oh, feels good. But don't slap back at my team. Okay, I missed your original. Let me see if I can find you. Then I can bring up all what you said. What did you say? You missed my original. He has to be careful who to trust. I wish he would take a step back and look what was happening. Aiden can't trust anyone. He needs to keep his circle small. Okay, yeah, I missed the one. Aiden can't trust. Sorry, sleepwalking. I missed the first one. The other one made me see it in a different light. Let me read that one. Aiden can't trust anyone. He needs to keep his circle small now, which doesn't include a New Jersey attorney. You want him to leave out Betterow. I think that would be a really bad idea. But hey, one thing I know. Don't talk to shit. Don't talk to anyone. Don't help anyone. Don't go on anyone's channels. Don't trust anyone. Because bitches ain't loyal. I got attacked because I had an opinion about a DA's race. Not because I had any opinion about who you should vote for or what party you should vote for. Just because I wanted the DA race to have a little bit of accountability and say, we want change. I got yelled at by Mike. And I was like, what the hell is happening, brother? I thought we were cool. I know you don't like that I'm saying that DAs should probably have an opinion on all the shit going on in the state. But he kept yelling at me. And why are you like this? Why do you need to do this? I don't get it. Then I'm sitting there thinking, what the hell is going on? Why is he all of a sudden attacking a stupid guy over a DA's race? I don't get it. Why do all of this drama ping out of everything? That had nothing to do with Aiden. I just said, with the Birdsmore trial, the Fitzsimmons trial, the Karen Reed trial, the Miles King trial, the Walls, the Proctors, all of that, wouldn't it be normal for a DA to say something? It's the exact same opinion Betterow has. But apparently I'm an idiot and I need to do better. It's just stupid. Oh, he's from New York. I don't know who is in. The only person I know is not in New York is me. I don't know where people live. You're giving Turtle Boy same advice as Melanie Litton. He can't trust anybody. But isn't it sad? I would love to talk to you in the DMs if you have something to say. I like to be on panels with people. I like hanging out with other creators and pick their brain. Have I stopped trying to contact anyone? Yes. Have I stopped trying to say, hey, what's going on with this? Because you don't know who you can trust now. I don't share my DMs because that unless you threaten someone, I don't find it appropriate to share DMs. What you do, I don't care. But I just don't do it. Because that's the cone of trust. You should be able to say, hey, I really dislike this person to another creator, and you can have a talk about it without it going out. We're not in high school. He should be able to tell you, well, I really dislike this person. Because we all have ups and downs and people we like and people we don't like. But it's just a bitch move going out, and then when you need some cannon fodder, you give them your DMs. Did you tell them at the time, hey, I don't think you should talk about John Joe Jameson that way? No, you didn't. You had no problem with it until you had to use it to stab them in the back. You don't come on someone else's channel and tell them how to run it. That's what you do in the green room when you're done. You say, hey, I really like what you were doing. I don't know if you ever considered doing this. Or if they reach out to you and say, hey, I actually think that I reached out to Emily C when she was about to start her channel before she asked me anything. And I said, hey, you want me to help with anything? Let me know. I've given the same offer to Lindsay Catani so she doesn't have to hide on Substack. If anyone else wants to do this stupid thing and you think I can help you, I'll give you an advice. I would never go in and tell her how to run her show after. If she asks me or if I feel like we are talking about it, yeah, I'll say, hey, I think this or that, or maybe if you need to know how to make an intro video or something, I'll help you. But I would never ever go in and tell the Rat House that they should only put Mary on the screen so I could sit with dreamy eyes and look at her. Because maybe other people think Danny is. No, he's not that pretty. He's not as pretty as Mary. But I love that people go on channels, especially people with no channel or with a very little channel, and tell people who have successful channels, you should change. Yeah. Oh, the 3 weeks where he has been under constant attack, he changed. Isn't that wonderful? Would I change if I was under constant attack? Maybe. But yeah, do you know how you can make sure it doesn't happen? Just stop watching Turtle Boy. Just stop attacking Turtle Boy. Just stop going in all these streams where they sit and shit on Turtle Boy every night. I like it when you call people tuberculosis. It shows that you're really a mature person. Are you supporting those people, Michelle? Do you think that's a funny joke, calling Aiden tuberculosis? Is that an attack? Is that childish behavior? Or is it really, really cool? People need to stop talking about other people and need to shut the fuck up. Tuberculosis. Oh, you're so funny. Well, not as hot. Well, all of yours are doctors. So I don't know. I actually think that, yeah, he have learned some things. I think sadly, one of the lessons Turtle Boy has learned is you're way too trustworthy. You're way too trusting. That's the word I'm looking for. You believe people when they tell you who they are instead of finding out who they really are. And that's a big problem Aiden has had. I like Aiden. Is he perfect? No. Am I perfect? Far from it. Are any of the other creators perfect? No. Is Aiden the sole reason why everyone is blowing up. Absolutely not. Because these guys are piling on harder than ever. Aiden can sit and do a weirdo eyebrow stream, and people will still sit on Twitch and say, "Oh, he's just attacking all the time." Oh, everyone needs to go out, touch some grass, get a life, and stop fuck with all this drama, and stop thinking you're that important. Stop thinking that, hey, I'm the guy who's everyone's gonna listen to because I'm so smart. Stop doing that. Stay in your lane, do your own show. You don't have to step on someone else's lane just to try and get a little bit of recognition. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. You need to go to bed.